Hi, and welcome back to That's Entertainment, the weekly entertainment show where we look at all the interesting news from last week this week. This week, we're taking another look at just how great some of the changes have been in the film distribution and viewing post-pandemic. We're showcasing the release of James Bond's No Time to Die, taking a look at its box office and the plans for its international home entertainment release, and the potential impact of piracy on those numbers. This weekend, Deadline Hollywood reported the film had become the biggest non-Chinese film of the year at cinemas, overtaking F9. Daniel Craig's final outing as 007 has taken over $733 million at the international box office so far. In the US, the film has taken $155 million, which means $579 million, or an astonishing 79% of the total box office has come from outside of North America. It was also the biggest pandemic opening weekend in 36 territories. In Russia, Hong Kong, Ukraine, Colombia, Argentina, Sweden, and the Baltics, it's the biggest Bond film ever. Australia's long-delayed November the 11th opening was the biggest there since December 2019. And in Denmark, it was the number one movie for 7 weeks and is the only second movie in the country's history to cross 100 million Danish kroners in box office revenue. Overall, the big box office numbers and top 5 territories have been the Netherlands, with $22 million to date, China at $60 million, France at $22 million, Germany at $72 million, and perhaps not surprising, UK at number 1, which has taken over $128 million or £93 million since opening on Thursday, September 30th. It's the 5th biggest movie of all time in the UK. And over its 7th weekend on release, this film is still number 2 at the box office, raking in a further 1.56 million. There is speculation that 2021's shorter theatrical windows may be impacting the film's overall box office potential. In the US, the film was released as a $19.99 home premiere PVOD rental title on Tuesday, November the 9th, just 31 days after its theatrical debut. Its speedy PVOD release could be shown down to its slightly underwhelming US theatrical run, with a $56 million opening weekend that failed to reach its predicted $60 million to $70 million target, thanks in part to the film's failing to draw as many young adult cinema goers away from Venom, Let There Be Carnage, as distributor MGM had hoped. Not surprisingly, the film's availability as a legal digital release in the US led to premium quality pirated versions debuting on illegal torrent websites all around the world from that week onwards. Consequently, the film debuted at the top of Torrent Freak's weekly 10 most pirated movies of the week chart, where it remained for the last 2 weeks. The majority of illegal online film viewings now coming from illegal streaming services. All this news must be extremely concerning to the film's producers, as No Time to Die has been available to watch on various illegal streaming services for a similar amount of time now. So the fact the film has been pirated may have an impact on plans for its release in territories outside of the US. On Tuesday, the 16th of November, it was announced that the film will be available to buy physically in the UK just in time for Christmas, with Blu-ray and DVD scheduled for the release on Monday, the 20th of December. Press coverage of the announcement didn't refer to a streaming release date for the film. Before the pandemic, it would have been expected that the movie would be available digitally around 2 weeks prior to its physical release. And so it therefore came as somewhat of a surprise to see the film available to rent from all usual UK PVOD providers last Friday, which was the 19th of November, including Amazon, iTunes, Microsoft, Virgin Media, and Sky. The film had a 50-day theatrical window in the UK, which gave cinemas there more weekends exclusivity than their US counterparts, but was the digital release brought forward as a result of the piracy stemming from its earlier US release? No Time to Die's availability on the small screen caught UK consumers and the trade press by surprise this weekend, and may well have come as a surprise to the UK exhibitors, as the film was still playing at around 600 cinemas, and took almost £1 million to claim 3rd place at the box office. While the film is still booked to play at those cinemas for the rest of the week, we don't know yet how many UK cinemas will continue to screen the film from next weekend onwards. What we do know now is that even with the UK cinema returning to its pre-pandemic numbers, it seems that studios seemingly now have the upper hand when it comes to negotiating the theatrical windows, even in a territory as traditionally inflexible as the UK. So can we expect to see No Time to Die debuting digitally in other international territories in the coming weeks? With the threat of further lockdowns across Europe looming and Christmas just over the horizon, it's hard not to imagine the film proving to be popular with home viewers throughout December and the holiday period. In terms of gifting of Blu-rays and DVDs and families choosing to rent it or possibly even buy it digitally. But even the revenue that will be generated from potential rentals, EST, and physical sales, it seems that No Time to Die could struggle to generate a profit for producers Eon Productions and MGM. A report in Variety pointed out that although compared to Daniel Craig's previous 00 outings, No Time to Die falls short of its two predecessors, Skyfall, with its $1.1 billion haul, and Spectre, with its $880 million tally. They believe it is this underperformance at cinemas that has led to the film's speedy home premiere debut, particularly in the US, where the film's box office total ranks as the lowest Bond with Craig at the center. According to the respected trade press publication, the movie cost more than $250 million to produce, at least $100 million to promote, and tens of millions of dollars more to postpone over 16 months. Insiders say that No Time to Die needs to take closer to the $900 million mark to break even. And as a result, the film now stands to lose $100 million in its theatrical run, according to sources close to production. However, MGM are being bullish with the film's overall global box office tally and its apparent streaming success in the US, which will see the studio keeping around 80% of the $20 rental fee, a far greater proportion than its cut of the sale of the cinema ticket. According to the studio, the film has far exceeded our theatrical estimates in this time frame, passing F9 to become the highest-grossing Hollywood film since the pandemic. With the PVOD release of the film already doing stellar home viewing business, all while continuing to hold well theatrically, No Time to Die will earn a profit for MGM, both as an individual film title and as part of MGM's incredible library. It's interesting to see that MGM highlighting the value of the film as a future library title, which reflects the fact that such libraries are now more valuable than ever, thanks to the ever-increasing demand from content from streaming video platforms. What does MGM's statement make abundantly clear is that non-theatrical revenue has never been more important to a particular film's profitability. That's all for this week. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe in the section below. Goodbye.